Hey, how y'all doing out there? I got some old crazy news for y'all. People been looking for Mary J. Blige, but don't nobody know where she's at. Everybody know Angie Stone was owed millions of dollars, but nobody know where that money went or who that money was given to. Angie let it be known that if it wasn't for her, Mary J. Blige probably wouldn't have a career. And on top of that, Mary put out songs and made millions of dollars without Angie Stone's consent.
She don't never have to really acknowledge me, but I was surprised at the end of the day when my song that we talked about the other day, Every Day and Die, was leaked on her project. I really thought she had a lot more respect for me than that. After all, my love and my hard work and perseverance with you was genuine. So that's my secret.
It sounded to me like Angie Stone didn't receive a dime of the money that was owed to her for not only helping Mary J. Blige, but plenty of people's careers. Angie was struggling while Mary J. Blige was getting paid millions of dollars. But it's only one problem. Mary wasn't paying her taxes on top of a whole bunch of other financial troubles. Now I'm trying to figure out how many ways was Angie Stone being used? And now after they discovered how much money she was owed, they said the music industry owed her over $50 million. It's like Mary J. Blige disappeared from the face of the earth after Angie Stone passed. And plus she didn't come out and give a statement or send her condolences to Angie's family. People are suspecting that Mary J. Blige used that money that was supposed to be owed to Angie Stone to pay her taxes, allegedly.
Speaking of taxes, I owe so much money. I never thought I was ever gonna get out of debt. I'm out of debt now, but I owe millions, like hundreds of millions of dollars in taxes. Now I have the wisdom. Now I look at my payroll. That's not my money. My taxes are not my money. My tithes are not my money. So I'm like, pay my business, pay my payroll, pay my taxes, pay my tithes. All of that money, I don't even want to see it because it doesn't belong to me. And that's how I was moving, period. But nobody listened to me. When I was married, I was like, pay my taxes, pay my tithes, do everything. And then they didn't listen to me. He was in control of everything. That's how I do. Those things are important to me.
Somehow, some way, she came up with hundreds of millions of dollars to get out of debt, but she was acting like she wasn't in debt to Angie Stone. Like Angie didn't help her write those songs. Like Angie didn't give her swag. I'm not trying to insinuate that Mary J. Blige had something to do with Angie Stone's disappearance. And the reason why I say disappearance is because we still don't know how Angie Stone allegedly passed. I'm just trying to point out the fact that Mary J. Blige and a whole bunch of other artists from Angie Stone's era are suspiciously quiet and nobody's seen them anywhere. Is it a possibility that they all play a part in what happened with Angie Stone? Because by the sounds of it, Angie should have had the same amount, if not more money than Mary J. Blige, because she played a significant role in Mary J. Blige's career.
In which I have really been very upset about it because it was along with Die, there's a song called Paradise and Every Day, which are both were written together. It was the first song I'd ever written as a partnership with D'Angelo, and they took both of those songs and they released the demo masters without permission. That is why I just found out this year that they released it as a B-side single or something, but they never released it overseas. In the States, because I wasn't supposed to know it. So the version that you all got was never, I didn't give them any permission to do that.
D'Angelo and Mary J. Blige had some sneaky, freaky business going on behind Angie Stone's back. And by the sounds of it, it's a shame that Angie couldn't trust Mary with her man. I've heard a bunch of freaky stories about Mary J. Blige. Y'all don't act like she didn't have a long-lasting relationship with Diddy. Even those West Coast gangsters got stories about how Mary J. Blige was up there at death row. She'll make a West Coast gangster boogie turn into a freak off back in the day. And now there's reports about her being booed up in the studio with D'Angelo behind Angie Stone's back.
So the person let me know, and it's going on record to say that when the time comes, they will step up to the mic and let it be known that was their assignment, to destroy my credibility by way of making me look crazy in a relationship that was innocent and pure and real. As a matter of fact, it was so real and pure, you could tell by the nourishment of the music then was just pleasant, it was real, it was pure.
Before y'all get to thinking that Mary J. Blige is the vigilante in this situation, I want to ask all y'all to pray for Mary and pray that she's safe and is in good spirits wherever she is, because we all make mistakes. I know D'Angelo probably somewhere hurting bad and reminiscing on the past all the time he had with Angie. They got a son together. I bet he still love her. But it is funny to me how Mary J. Blige had a whole lot to say about Aaliyah when she passed, but we ain't heard a peep out of her since Angie passed.
When Aaliyah died in that plane crash, that was a reality check for every Christian that believes in this. It's either life or death. When I was on drugs and I was dying, it was life or death.
The people around you, the managers, the agents, all the people in your record company, the family members, the friends, how did they all adapt to this?
They're just going to have to adapt, because this is what I want. You know, like I said, after Aaliyah died, my question is, who was there, like, responsible for her? Like, who was there to care enough to say it is too much luggage for a crop duster? Like, so they just have to adapt, because right now I don't feel like flying. Adapt. You know what I'm saying? Right now I feel like praying. Adapt. Right now, I don't feel like denying that God is good to me in front of the world. Adapt.
Okay.
You know, I'm not kidding. I'm not playing with these people.
Mary was well aware of what R. Kelly was doing with Aaliyah and all those girls back in the day. The same way she was well aware of all of the things we're just now finding out about Diddy, but she didn't speak out against any of that. I'm surprised she even spoke on Aaliyah's death. I know that Mary heard through the grapevine that Angie Stone was broke and Angie wasn't getting her money. How come she never reached out and said, hey, sister, you helped me out, so I'm going to help you out? That's how I know it ain't no love out in these R&B streets. I get mad every time I hear Angie Stone talk about how she didn't get paid what she was deserved.
After 40-something years in the business, I'm like, well, why? Where are my royalties going? Because I'm not getting this. Come to find out, Universal Music has been receiving all my royalties, all my mechanicals. They've taken pretty much everything. They've stolen, I won't say stolen, but they have taken all the monies that were due to me. They have basically absorbed in that company. And even though there's several class action lawsuits, people that were working on my behalf never even registered the songs. All the songs that I've done, I'm only coming to find out they were not properly registered by the companies that I signed over to. People that were supposed to do their due diligence. So I'm truly a walking testimony that God has carried me.
I wonder how many people out there that we think got money really don't have a dollar to their name. We thought Diddy was the CEO of S.A.T. Come to find out, that was a lie. I wouldn't be surprised if everybody in Black Hollywood was broke. Y'all remember that show MTV Cribs back in the day? Come to find out, these people didn't even live in them houses. I was under the impression that Mary J. Blige wrote all of her music. Come to find out, it was Angie Stone writing all of her stuff, while Mary J. Blige was getting paid for everything and Angie didn't get a dime.
Mary sung that song with all her heart. We never got to finish the song, but I believe I heard Mary speak of the song maybe one time since her success took over. And she would always say, boy, Angie Stone's a very pretty girl. And I can remember I ain't taking no shorts. And that was all I needed to be acknowledged, that she never forgot. But I know that those lyrics put a bout of self-esteem in her spirit that day that says, you know what, they're not going to treat me any kind of way.
I need y'all to get on Instagram or Facebook and let me know if y'all seen Mary J. Blige anywhere, any recent pictures, any recent posts, because I've been looking and I ain't see her nowhere. I know a few people that know her personally and they haven't seen or heard from her. I'm scared, man. I'm worried about it. And I gotta remind y'all that everything you're hearing in this video is allegations and speculations. I still have a tremendous amount of love for Mary J. Blige, and I'm not up here playing with these people. Ain't nobody seen her. That's why I'm praying that she's safe. And on top of that, Angie Stone let it be known that she loved Mary J. Blige. So I'm gonna let y'all know that regardless of what they saying out there in the streets, I still love Mary J. Blige as well. Where is she? Bring her home. Is she on the run? Do she got Angie's money with her? Because if she do, she need to come back and give Angie Stone's daughter that money so she can get her teeth fixed. Swaybo Twain needs some food. That boy getting thin. Where Mary J. Blige money at? Better yet, when you talk about Mary J. Blige money, you talk about Angie Stone's money. So where Angie Stone money at?
You know that when I tell these stories, they're for my fans. They're for people that are interested in what Angie Stone has been doing. I don't care how long ago it was. I don't care what people may think. First, let me just clear up this. I have no ill towards Mary J. Blige. I never or ever would say anything negatively that I could not repeat or break down and explain. I've never called any of these people thieves because I'm in this industry. The industry itself can be toxic, but I have to be careful with my words because people will take them and twist them. But at the end of the day, once again, this is for my fans and people who are genuinely concerned or just interested in what this industry from my side of things have looked like over the past 50 years.
The music industry tried to turn Angie Stone into the candy lady that tells stories about her past dealings with R&B legends while selling you a sack of candy for a dime. I don't know why they tried to do her like that. While Mary J. Blige was allegedly on drugs and spending all of Angie's money, where's Alicia Keys at? Wasn't she Angie Stone's label mate? It sounds like Clive Davis was rationing that money out wrong. If Angie Stone was a slim tenderoni, I bet she would have got paid a whole lot better than that. They paid her like she was a hog or a calf. While they was eating steak, shrimp, and lobster, they had Angie Stone in the corner eating grass, and now she's gone. Mary J. Blige is gone. Don't nobody know where Mary at? Somebody find Mary J. Blige and tell her to give Angie Stone back her money.
If you can recall the group, the sequence that I was with at the time, we used to wear these metallic jackets with these white cheerleader skirts. You gotta remember, we came from being cheerleaders. It wasn't very long after that Mary J. Blige was seen on a brownstone set of steps with a football jersey on and a white cheerleader skirt. Well, I was in my feelings because nobody in New York was wearing those tennis skirts. The sequence brought those tennis skirts to reality, and Mary J. Blige made those skirts famous. She wore it, and then the next thing you know, everybody wanted to be like Mary J. Blige. But I personally took it as she got some of that Angie Stone energy in her system, and she went out there like the beast she ended up being.
Y'all heard what she said? Mary J. Blige had Angie Stone energy in her system. She used Angie like a battery and a personal ATM. But what goes around comes around. She went out there and got married, and her ex-husband did to her what she allegedly did to Angie Stone. Even though she was in love with this man, even though she gave him high praises, they said that he was her supplier. So they all was on something in the entertainment business. They tried to say the same thing about Angie. People spread rumors that she was on drugs. But Mary J. Blige not only was allegedly on drugs, but she was in love with her pusher man.
What was the tipping point for you?
The tipping point was during the No More Drama that album cycle, because I feel that I had drank myself, like that was it. Like I was just done. Like I was done. I was dying. It was over. I was gonna die. It didn't matter, but I didn't want to die.
You felt you were gonna die.
Yeah. So when it finally happened, I was like, wait a minute, this is not what I want. But subliminally, I was drinking myself to death. But I didn't want it. And what happened was I got a call from a friend, you know, Queen Latifah, who I was working with at the time, and my husband was like I'd met him, I think maybe a month ago in Detroit, while working with her, and that same day that I felt like, well, that I was gonna die, I got a call from him. I got a call from her saying that he wanted to speak to me, and then when he called, he said he had some information for me that was gonna help me. And it was like having an infected cut. And when you peel the scab, it peeled the scab back. We're going to peel the scab off, the infected scab, and pour some medicine on it. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt.
And what was the information that he had?
That was the information.
Oh, that?
That was the information. And
so what was the medicine he gave you?
The medicine he gave me? Love.
But the medicine probably was drugs. And all that money she was giving to that man for drugs, allegedly. He turned around, divorced her, got alimony, child support, all these things. If she would have just paid Angie Stone the money that was owed to her, she wouldn't have to go through all this stuff. This allegedly, this is what she said back in the day. This is how she was talking when she was married. She said she needed the medicine. Somebody hooked her up with the plug. He gave her a little something, just to wean her off or whatever it was she was on so she can get back on the right track. I don't know. That's what it sounded like to me. It sounded like the love that this man was giving her was that pink cocaine, allegedly, that Diddy was on. I don't know for sure. And I ain't about to be sitting up here talking bad about Mary J. Blige. Like I said, I love this woman. But where she at? Most importantly, where Angie Stone money at?
Support. He gave me love and support. And he gave me love and support in a way that I had not gotten it before, because with all of that spiraling around me and the lack of support, you know, that was in my life before he came in, the yes men, the people just greedy and hungry for a check, and, you know, people just letting me drink until I die, he came with questions. Why are you drinking so much? Why do you hate yourself? What happened to you? You're better than that. So I've never had anybody approach me with that kind of love before. And that's what I needed, and that's what triggered in me the love that I have for myself today.
The world is filled with issues. That boy Carmelo Anthony stabbed that dude at a track meet. They let him out of jail. Now black people scared to go to the store because there might be some crazed person out there willing to take out the first black person they see. You got celebrities robbing each other left and right. And all we can do is reminisce on when Angie Stone was trying to warn us. She tried to tell us people weren't listening when she was alive. But I hope y'all listening now that she gone, because I sure miss her.
That was an unfortunate mishap. When I did that song, every day I did that song, that song for myself. I was pregnant with my son, and D'Angelo and I, you know, did that song. It was at one point that Mary J. Blige and MTA heard the record, and they begged us for the record, and they said, well, you know, can we at least, you know, try it to see what it sounds like. And he and I both at the time did not want to do it because it was a song that we had, you know, we had started working on my album. Mm-hmm. And so there, at that point, we agreed to let her demo it to see how she sounded, but our vocals was always there. I sang all of the backgrounds, and so did D'Angelo. He and I sang the backgrounds. Mary didn't sing any background. She tried to mimic the lead that I had there because they loved the song, and we did not like what we was hearing.
Rest in peace to the beautiful Angie Stone. Mary J. Blige ain't the only person missing. We gonna come back and do some more videos about these celebrities, these R&B divas that turned up missing ever since Angie passed. They ain't saying nothing about it. They trying to get low. They don't want to make Clive Davis upset. Mary, if you out there, let us know you out there. Leave a comment in the comment section of this video. I love you, Mary. They say a whole bunch of mean things about you, but I don't believe none of that stuff. Angie Stone, she seen it for what it was. She helped a whole lot of people grow. People don't want to reach back and help the sister that put them on, but they want to give all their money to the pusher, man. They want to be booed up with their fans, like they fans wrote their songs, like they fans helped them get their swag. I swear, Mary, you wrong for this. You ain't saying nothing. You ain't doing nothing. I thought y'all had a sisterhood. Y'all supposed to be sticking together. Y'all need to let me know how y'all feel about this in the comment section. I got so much love for y'all. Rest in peace to Angie Stone. And one more thing before I go, subscribe to my channel if that's what you want.
Subscribe to my channel if that's what you want. But if that's not what you like, then you must be a punk. Hold on now, here we go.